Hello members, how are you? Are you doing fine? I hope you're doing fine. I'm also doing very fine. Welcome back again to our online English course, okay? And have to remind you that we have already covered the first topic, which was titled as subjects in sentences. In the first topic, we have already discussed various ideas that are related to subjects in the sentences. That included understanding pronouns. We also discussed about nouns. We discussed the various types of nouns. We also discussed the plurals in nouns as well as the articles in nouns. So today we are going to start the second topic, and our second topic is titled verbs in sentences. So we are going to start discussing about verbs. Without wasting time, what are verbs? Verbs are words that show actions and the time when those actions occur. Verbs are words that show actions and the time when those actions occur. If you are talking of actions that are normally done by subjects, as we have discussed, I, you, we, they, he, she, it, or nouns in particular, those are called the verbs because they are actions that are done by subject. For example, if you say eat, which is in Swahili, is kula, okay, that is an action of eating. Or you say speak, which is ongea in Swahili language, that is an action of speaking. Or for example, you say sleep also, that is an action which in Swahili is lala. We know that is an action of sleeping. Or you say wait, which is subiri in Swahili language. Or you say cook, which is pika in Swahili language. Those are action. Cook, it means that an action of cooking. So verbs are words that show actions that are done by subjects, as I have said. But these verbs are categorized into two main groups. We have those verbs that are called the main verbs, and we have those verbs that are called the helping verbs. Okay, so let us begin seeing what are main verbs, and then you will see what are helping verbs. If we are speaking of main verbs, these group of verbs that carry a complete meaning or idea in a sentence are the group of verbs that carry a complete meaning or idea in a sentence. For example, you can look on these sentences as your examples. For example, if you say, we eat chicken chips every day. We eat chicken chips every day. The word eat there is a verb. It shows an action of eating. We eat chicken chips every day. So eat is a verb. Eat shows action, the action of eating. Or you can take another example from the second sentence. It says, I will speak English after 4 months. I will speak English after 4 months. In this sentence, speak is a main verb, okay, because it carries a complete meaning. Or they played football yesterday. In this sentence, played is also a verb. Is also a main verb. As I have said that main verbs are those that are carrying a complete meaning or idea. If you take, for example, eat from the first sentence and speak from the first sentence and played from the third sentence, you will see that eat, speak, and played are meaningful by themselves. So they carry a complete meaning. That's why they are called main verbs. Another group of verbs are called the helping verbs. Helping verbs are those verbs that do not carry a complete meaning. As I have said, that main verbs carry a complete meaning. Helping verbs do not carry a complete meaning. Their meaning are depending on the meaning of the main verbs. It means that if you isolate main verbs alone, they will have meaning. For example, if you say eat, you know that eat is cooler. Or you say speak, you know that speak is ongea. But these helping verbs do not have meaning by themselves. They are meaningful when they are attached or when they go together with the main verb. Look at these examples that I'm going to give you. For example, she is eating chicken chips. She is eating chicken chips. Okay, judging from the knowledge that you have got from main verbs, here the main verb is eating. Okay, because it carries a complete meaning. But is an helping verb. She is eating. It means that is an helping verb. It is there so as it can help the main verb to provide the complete meaning. Or take from the second example, I will speak English after 4 months. The main verb here is speak, but the helping verb is will. So will does not have a meaning by itself, but it has a meaning when it is combined together with the main verb. So it means that it is there just to help the main verb to provide the complete meaning or the meaning intended. Or you can take it from the third example. They were playing football. They were playing football. Where is also an helping verb. It helps the main verb playing to provide the complete meaning. So if we are speaking of helping verbs, we are speaking of those verbs that do not carry the complete meaning. They cannot stand alone and have a complete meaning, but they must be attached with the main verb so as to provide various grammatical information that we are going to talk about them later. So verbs are action words, and verbs are categorized into two groups. The first group is main verbs, which can stand alone by themselves and they have a complete meaning. And the second group is a group of helping verbs that cannot stand alone. They need to be attached together with the main verb so that they can provide a complete grammatical function. Okay. After knowing that, let us now look into details on main verbs. As we have said that main verbs are meaningful by themselves, but main verbs also can be further divided into two groups. We have the first group, which is called regular verbs, and the second group, which is called irregular verbs. Okay, let us begin with seeing what irregular verbs are, and then we will go direct to the irregular verbs. If we are speaking of regular verbs, these are verbs that form past and the participle by adding ed. They are verbs that form past and the participle by adding ed. They are called predictable verbs. They are called predictable verbs. Why? Because you can predict them the way they are going to form their past tense and the participle form of the verb. Why are predictable? Because we can just add ed to form the past and the participle form of the verb. Look some examples. For example, we have the basic verb here, which is play. Okay, the basic verb, which is play. In Swahili language, play is cheza. In Swahili language, play is cheza. And in the past, you add ed. As I've said, that's a regular verb. They need to be added with ed in order to form the past. So we can add ed there from play, and we get played. And then in participle, we are adding the same ed. So in the participle, this verb play will be played. As well as the word clean, okay, which in Swahili is sufficient. Is also a regular verb, so we are just adding ed to form the past, which is going to be cleaned. Okay, after adding the ed form, and then the participle also will be the same as cleaned. Another verb is blame. Okay, blame, which in Swahili means raum. Okay, and then because this is a regular verb, you are just adding then ed, and they form and it forms the past and it becomes blamed, and the participle is also blamed. Another verb that is acting as an example over here is complete. Complete, which means kamilisha in Swahili language, and in the past is completed, and the participle also completed. You are just adding ed. Another verb is compete. You can see compete also is added ed. Compete in Swahili is shindana. Okay, the past is going to be completed, and the participle is going to be completed. Another verb is count. Count is also regular verb because we are adding ed in order to form the past and the participle. And when you add ed, which is from when you add ed on count, which in Swahili is hesabu, is going to be counted. Okay, and the participle is going to be counted too. Another verb is decide. Okay, decide, which means amua in Swahili language, and in the past is going to be decided, and the participle is going to be decided. You are just adding ed as we have agreed. Another verb is discuss. Okay, discuss, which means jadili. Okay, discuss, which means jadili in Swahili language. In the past, we are adding ed is going to be discussed, and in the participle is also going to be discussed. Another verb is enjoy. Okay, enjoy, which means furahia in Swahili language. When you add ed to form the past, is going to be enjoyed, and the participle form of the verb is going to be also enjoyed. Another verb is fix. Fix means tengeneza. Okay, in Swahili language. When you add ed in the past, is going to be fixed, and in the participle is going to be fixed. These are examples of the regular verb from the main verb. As we have said that main verbs can be grouped into two. The first group with the group of regular verb. The second group is a group of irregular verbs. As we have said, regular verbs are predictable. Are predictable how? Because we can just add ed to form past and participle, and we have discussed some of examples that we have put in over here. The second group, as we have said, is a group of irregular verbs. these irregular verbs do not form past or participle form of the verb by adding ed. That's why they are called unpredictable. Unpredictable, why? Because they do not follow the ed formation or the ed way of forming past and the participle. They follow other ways which are unpredictable. These are called irregular verb. For example, the word eat. Okay, the word eat, which is in its basic form in Swahili language, is kula. Okay, we are not adding ed to form the past or participle, but this is an irregular verb takes as a form. The past verb, the past of the verb eat is going to be ate, and the participle is going to be eaten. You can see that we are not adding ed. We can't predict them easier. It needs us to study them. Okay. The second one is buy. Okay, buy, which in Swahili means nunua. Okay, and the past form is bought, and the participle form is also bought. Another verb is take. Okay, another example of irregular verb is take, which means ichukua in Swahili language. But when you want to form the past, is going to change and becomes took, and the participle is taken. Another verb is drive, which is endesha in Swahili language, and in the past is drove, and the participle is going to be driving. Another verb is forgive, which in Swahili language is samehe, and in the past is going to be forgave, and the participle is going to be forgiven. Another is no, which means jua in Swahili. In the past is knew, and in the participle is known. Another verb that is acting as an example is make. Okay, make, which in Swahili is tengeneza, and tengeneza, and this make in the past is going to be made, and in participle is also going to remain as made. Another verb is sell, which means uza. In the past is going to be sold, and in the participle also is going to be sold. Another verb is teach, which means fundisha. In the past is going to be taught, and in the participle is going to be taught too. And the last one is live. Live, which means ondoka in Swahili. In the past is going to be left, and in the participle is going to be left too. Those are some of examples of irregular verbs. As I have said, that verbs are words that show us action and the time when those actions occur. So they are very, very important words. Of course, if you want to master English language, first you need to master verbs. As we have said, verbs are words that carry the complete meaning. The meaning of the sentence depends on the meaning of the verb. So for you as an English learner, you need to master verb. So what I'm going to do for you, I will just provide you with a list of regular verbs and the list of irregular verbs, and the way they are changing their different forms to form the past and the participle. Okay, what I can say to you that you need to study them. You need to study them to see the way they are changing their past and the participle, because it's what we are going to use when we are going to discuss tenses. And you need to memorize them if you can, okay, so that you can know. And the structure that I need you to master is just like the way I was presenting the data. Okay, basic form, for example, play, right? And then you need to master the meaning of it in Swahili language. For example, the word play is cheza, and then you also to master the past and the participle of that verb. At least we have covered some examples of verb. Okay, the work now is yours. I will give you a PDF of these verbs. Make sure you study them. Until next time.